This is a calendula. I'll get out of the way here. I don't have too many flowers right now. I get more flowers here in the winter and especially in the spring, but when it gets hot, the flowers just really don't come out much. I have another one here. I lost one to the heat, and I got another one out by the garden. This is under my porch area, and you can see that the flower is where all the medicine is made. We make the calendula oil, and it has a lot of benefits. It's supposed to help eczema and all kinds of. You can also take the flower internally. I make an all-purpose seasoning and just pull the yellow petals out and add it to my all-purpose seasoning. It's really good for your stomach, and it helps. They say they fight duodenal cancer and I think stomach cancer. Supposedly those are things I hear. I'm not a doctor. That's just stuff I've read. But I just use the oils because it's so good for my skin, and I especially use it in my facial serum along with some other stuff. And plus, like I said, I make gifts and stuff with the calendula oil. But yeah, that's one of the calendula flowers. Some people get them mixed up with marigolds. Some people call them marigolds, but they're a totally different flower, actually, or at least very, very different, because you don't eat the other one like this one you can, and it doesn't have the same characteristics.
Okay, I'd already got started on this, and I thought, oh, I need to share it with my YouTube friends. So what I did was I had a bunch of calendula, and I had an ounce of calendula, I believe it was. Anyway, you can't believe how much calendula flowers it takes to make an ounce, but quite a bit. And then what I did was I put it in my machine, and I ground it all up in my food processor. Pretty good. And then what I did was, okay, I have my granddaughter motioning things to me and at the same time, so it got me off track, sorry. Okay, so I ground it all up really fine, and then I had some oils. Now you can use olive oil or whatever. I actually mix some. Sometimes I'll mix my rose oil that I made and some of my lavender oil to give it kind of a mixture of flowers in my oil. This time I just used jojoba and olive oil mix until I got 14 ounces. And then, now before I did all of that, I had the ground up flowers. I put them in a bowl, and I just poured some alcohol. I need a high proof, like 80 proof. I use vodka. That seems to work the best. And at least it's one that I really like. It works well. And, okay, yes, you can get some water. Now, where was that? Okay, so I just barely just pour that over and barely cover it. You don't want too much alcohol. And then for 24 hours, you cover that bowl and let it sit in the alcohol. You just barely want it so all of the flour is moistened really good. And what that does is that starts drawing out all of the good stuff from the flowers. You let it sit. Now actually this time mine set a lot longer. Our electricity, because we live in good old California, they are turning our electricity off, and who knows why, but they do every now and then. And of course I don't live in town. Town got theirs turned on. We're always the last ones. We live out in the country, and they just leave ours off. Things are really chaotic and hot and everything else. So anyway, things were crazy, and mine got left in the alcohol for like 3 days or something like that. But anyway, that didn't hurt it any. Maybe just drew it out some more. I'm sure I don't think it hurt anything. So then I poured those leaves back in the food processor. I put my oils, which I told you about, in with the plant material. It's all dampened from the alcohol real good now. And then I just mixed it up some more. Every time when I had electricity, I would turn it on and let it run pretty good. And so I didn't have electricity, so it just sat for longer than usual. Usually you want to let it set for 48 hours, and when you come in, just turn on the machine and let it run a little bit. I think this is a really good way. I heard this from Cammie. She does oils online, an herbalist. And I really like it because I used to not run it through the machine like that. I just put my plant material in the oils. And but anyway, it didn't get as dark and it didn't get as much of the stuff. So thank you, Cammie. I think it's Cammie McBride. I think that's her name. This is a great way to get the oils out. And so you can see sometimes life happens, like no electricity and things get left longer. And when you're using stuff like this, sometimes you just have to go with the flow and do what you can. Now, I've been doing some of this. I had to wash my hands again to get the camera, but I'm going to put some of this gooey material into the cheesecloth, which is in a funnel. You want lots of cheesecloth because you're going to pick up the edges of the cheesecloth. Move this over a little so you can see. And I'm going to just squeeze, and my hands are going to get really oily, so you want to make sure your hands are clean when you're doing this. You want to keep out as much bacteria and germs as you can, and we tend to pick those up anytime we touch the counter or anything. You're going to get a little bit, but so far my oils, I use them before they ever go bad. They won't last as long as a tincture does, maybe a year. It just kind of depends on situations and where you're at and what's happening and how it was processed and all that. But I use my oils, and for Christmas, for some of the family, I will give, some of the ladies love the oils, or for a friend. When I was on a bowling team, one of the gals, I gave her some. She can't use a lot of things because certain things she's allergic to, but that one was pure calendula, and she was able, calendula oil, she was able to use it on her skin. So I was glad she was able to use it. But, I use it. I make a facial serum. One of these times when I'm making my facial serum, I'll make that and show you too. It's my own recipe that I really, really like. And folks, I'm getting up there. I'm older than most of you, including. This is so bright out here, I can't even see. But hopefully you will be able to see that this is the oil. I did the first initial putting it through the cheesecloth and squeezing it out. Now some of the layers are setting, and I'm going to do another straining of it to be a finer, clearer oil, but I don't want it real clear. I like this top layer here. It's got lots of beneficial stuff. I'm going to get it out of the sun so it doesn't destroy it all, but I wanted y'all to see the final product. Pretty close to the final. I'll probably give it one more strain. Okay, and on this shelf will be where my cleanser oil will go. I'll probably put it in some smaller bottles because I like my different small bottles and stuff. Got it down there with some other stuff right now, but I'll get it and put it up here. So a little bit, if you have any questions, you can put it in the comments below. I hope you all like this. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and you all have a wonderful